Well, good morning, my friend. It is Monday morning. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you along with me this morning as we start out the week, and hope that you had a wonderful day yesterday in church. We had a tremendous day at Maranatha Baptist Church. It was exciting to see what the Lord did for us in church. Had several people saved, two whole families baptized, and that was exciting there. And always good to be a part of the Lord's work and watching the hand of the Lord work even in the middle of summertime, with several families out of town on vacation. The auditorium was still full, souls still saved. Always exciting to see what God can do in these days. We just have to believe that He can do it. Then we've got to act upon it, see what God can do. God certainly desires to do something mighty through us. Our problem is, I think, oftentimes we don't trust the God and we don't attempt to do something because it's a little bit harder than what we really want. And so I'd encourage you, get busy, do something. Let's see God do something at the end of this year. Wouldn't that be good? That God would do something at the end of this year, that in every church across America, that we can start bringing this nation back to God. Can I tell you this? It's always in the darkest times that the light can shine the brightest. And God's people really need to step it up. Let's see what God can do. I want to talk to you this morning now about renewing your strength. In Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, the scripture says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." There's never a power shortage with God, my friend. He always has the power to accomplish any work of faith that a believer sets out to achieve. Verse 28 says, "Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding." You see, God's reminding us in this verse that he never gets weary of helping. Boy, that excites me. He never quits helping the believer who serves him. And he always has the power to help them if they continue. Now, verse 31 shows the believer that they can be like the Lord, who never gets weary or faints. The verse I read to you in Isaiah 40:31 says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." Now, it's interesting that nowhere does this verse say that the Lord renews the strength of those who serve him, but they renew their strength by serving him. Now, I want you to understand this. The renewing of strength is found in the person who needs their strength renewed. To renew means to resume, pick up again, carry on, regenerate, revive, or refill. In other words, something caused the believer to lose their strength, but they can renew it by simply waiting or serving the Lord. That's what we have to understand. Now, how does the believer renew their strength? First, they mount up with wings as eagles. In other words, the phrase mount up means to go up or increase. So God's teaching that faith is that first step of renewing your strength. You'll never find your strength invigorated by living a faithless life. In fact, the faithless life takes your spiritual strength from you. Faith has a way of reinvigorating the believer's strength. Faith is exciting and gives a great new vision. Thus, it renews or revives the strength to do something for the Lord. Second, renew your strength by running. Faith is nothing if you don't run with it. In other words, step out and start running in service. There's nothing about getting busy that excites you as a believer. Um, just me, those who are sitting always be okay. Let me say this. There's nothing about sitting that'll excite you as a believer. Those who are sitting will always be weary of the Christian life. Being a spectator instead of a participant in the Christian race never causes the race to seem exciting. Those who run by soul winning, teaching Sunday school class, running bus routes, and serving the ministry to reach others always find their strength is renewed to serve God, and it never wanes because the action invigorates the believer. Now, I'm not saying that we don't become weary, but God gives us the strength so that we don't become weary in well-doing. Third, God then says the believer shall walk. In other words, you can run in serving God, but you will faint if you don't slow down to walk with God daily in your personal time. You need to run, but you must slow everything down to walk with him in his word and pray to get the strength to run again. Walking without running makes walking needless. Running without walking will leave you empty of strength, which causes you to become weary and faint. Now, fourth, don't give up. Quitting must never be an option. You'll find your strength renewed if you decide not to quit running in service or walking with God daily. You will become weary and quit if you stop running and walking. Now, it all starts with choosing to wait upon the Lord. When you choose, when your choice is to serve the Lord, you'll never get tired of running for the Lord or becoming weary of walking with him. When you choose to run for the Lord and walk with him is when you will discover that energy, that strength, and that he is altogether lovely. My friend, can I tell you this? Inaction makes you tired, but action is where you find your strength. And you don't have to become weary. You can make it if you don't quit. Let me challenge you. You start serving God. Just stay busy serving God. Run, then walk. Run, serve, walk with God in prayer and in his word. And you'll find the strength to step out by faith and continue to increase so that God can do something mighty through you. I want to say good morning to my church treasurer, Tom Davidson, who happened to pop on the live podcast, and want to say hello to him. But let me remind everybody today, as you go throughout this day, as we start this week, hey, let's remember it's Monday, but let's remember, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.